We're racing ever closer to the finish line. Death is sharpening his scythe at that line, and when we cross that waiting line, so fine as to be invisible to our eye, what will we find? When we've gone too far, we will find in horror that he is still waiting there for us. Will he show mercy? No. But instead, with a foul, swift slice from the scythe, he will show us all of our flaws and regrets in an instant. He will show us that we are human and that we are not the immortals we so often believed ourselves to be. And we will be humbled, and silence will be the one thing that becomes us most. All that we knew will be lost. All that we've tried so hard to conceal from the world will die with us. But did we really want not one person to know our secrets? Or did we just want to find one person with whom we could speak of any dark thought, any strange desire, and all of our many regrets? Consider now what buried thoughts would be fresh on the surface of your mind, dripping from your tongue in your last fleeting staggered breaths. Because these breaths could be your last. Who would you want to tell your final thoughts to? It's a hard question, isn't it? Maybe it's one you've considered. Maybe it's one that you should. Because the sands are falling and you can only climb the mountain of time for so long before you too will fall with them. Tumbling, beaten and worn like the grains themselves, will you stand out amongst the many that have fallen? Or will you find yourself buried like so many before us? Eventually we will all be buried, won't we? For too many die to think that we could stand at the top without someone else taking our place eventually. And eventually we will be but a fleeting thought of another. And eventually we will be forgotten. But will we see that? Who knows for sure what the other side holds in wait for us? All we do is continue to move closer to that line. What we can do, though, is lessen this burden with which we each carry. We can express those thoughts waiting for fleeting breath before fleeting breath finds us, and we can all learn how human we really are. Because even the most holy asks for forgiveness, and even the most open has something they feel too embarrassed, too fearful, too ashamed to tell the world, because we fear that it will bury us sooner than time itself could. Instead, we keep running away from our secrets, and running ever closer to that waiting line.